Very good afternoon to all. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to Tally CA Connect. And of course, wishing you all a very happy Ram Navami. Moving on to our today's topic of discussion is filing of returns, GST returns through TallyPrime. And our expert for today, backed by popular demand, CA Uttamchand Jain. Uttam sir requires no introduction to this forum at least. He is practicing CA for over 30 years now, and he has presented various papers, be it on bank audit, tax audit, income tax matters, and of course, Tally at various ICA chapters. He's a member of very important CA associations and tax consultants association. He is our go-to person when we have tallies, when we need any sort of tally help in terms of practical scenarios, which is why we are grateful for him for having cleared his calendar for today's CA Connect. Thank you, Uttam sir. I welcome you today. Over to you.
Thank you for the kind introduction. And this presentation or this particular session will be one of the session where there will be no PPT. Straight away we'll get into the subject. Straight away we'll get into the areas in which we are going to discuss. Only one suggestion, that park all your queries. Do put it in your Q&A so that we will answer all your queries, and at the same time there will be a flow available, because otherwise we will get distracted and we'll go into a different area. That is the small suggestion which I have, and based on that we will now proceed. Tally, the latest version which is available is 4.1, and I'm going to do it along with that session. That is the 4.1, the latest version, and that version I am going to use it for implementing what is called the GST module of Tally version, where the GST module once activated. Madam was talking about filing your GSTR 1 3B from Tally and also reconcile through Tally. However, all that will happen only and only if the data punched in are correctly done or the module is correctly activated as well as implemented. There is one thing which is called activation. There is a second part which is called implementation. So activation and implementation have to go together. So with that background, we will try to create a company. So we'll try to create a company. I normally get into other areas also. While getting into it, I am trying to type company name as demo 2425. And there is something called mailing name. I will remove the demo 2425 in the mailing name. The purpose is name, company name. This company name is for the user, and this name, mailing name, is for all your reports. Whether you are going to get into audit or whether you are going to get into, sorry, not audit. You are going to get any of the reports which are there, whether it is GSTR 1, 3B, whether it is your TDS return or ledger printout or balance sheet printout, all that will take the mailing name as the name for report generation. Again, this address will be picked up for all your reports which you generate. All the reports which you generate, this will be the address taken. Take, for example, your invoice or your ledger or your balance sheet. This address will be picked up. And this state will be the base state for your GST. So if it is a base state is Tamil Nadu, the base state will be taken as GST. As we come to the fag end, we will talk about multiple GSTN. And then we have the phone number. All this will be picked up wherever it is required. Wherever it is required, it will pick it up. Email, again, this also will be picked up for all your reports, because in GST as well as for the TDS, the phone numbers and the mail address have to be given. It will pick up automatically. And the web address, if you have a website, you can put the website here, and this will be helpful for create or uploading your balance sheet, your reports onto your website directly. And if I'm going to press F12, you can use the edit log. We're not going to get into all this, but then we can have the expanded scenario. and I can say books beginning from maybe 5th April. There could be a reason why I'm putting 5th April. Books, my business may start from a particular date. This tally edition, which I am right now using, is a edition which is called normal gold edition or auditor's edition. There's something called edit log edition as well. That is a different download we have to do. Edit log will help you to track what all the changes which have been done. I'm not explaining all this. I am getting into the features directly. I have created a company. Once I create a company, it will automatically take me to what is called F11. Whenever you're using Tally, always try to open all the features which are available. That doesn't mean that you put a F12 and do all yes, that will only create a problem. But then we are into this GST module. So F11, advanced feature, we'll straight away get into GST module and I'll say yes. And by default, it will tell me Tamil Nadu. It picks up from my main database, which I have given earlier. And then it is asking me whether I am going to go for regular, composition, regular SEZ, and then it is whether it is other territory, whether I am an assessee of other territory. It's asking me this basic information, and then I have to give a GSTN number, which is a number which is PAN based number, which is 10 plus 15 digit number, and then it is asking me whether you are monthly or you are quarterly, and then whether e-invoice is applicable. If I say e-invoice applicable, then from which date it is applicable, and the e-invoice comes from which place, and whether e-way bill is applicable. Again, I can say show me registration name, show me place of supply. I can also say this. And I can have further place of further information. If I have a registration name, a business registration name separately, I will give that name here. And if I want to do for multiple, I have to go for multiple here itself. Then comes the set alter GST rate details. If my GST rate across all the transaction, particularly when I am in, say, I am in doing only one nature of business, one nature of item, I can do the HSN code detail for holistically entire data. I can give the details here and I can give the other information also. I'm not defining here because there are 3 places where you can give the rates, applicable rates and HSN codes. So one place is this, there will be other 2 places, and the threshold limit, interstate and intrastate, whatever is your limit, you can just give. In Tamil Nadu, it is 1 lakh. So I'm giving it on this. Again, it is asking me, because interpretation, there are different interpretations, saying that one, I'll take the invoice value, I will take the taxable and the exempt goods only, I'll take only taxable value. Invoice value will be containing even the GST value also. So that is how we have to do it, and show GST advances for adjustment in transaction. If you are going to pay GST on advances, activate that. We are going to activate here. With this, we have created GST module in Tally. Now let's proceed into creations of the masters which are there. Once I have a GST module, I have a saying that GST is applicable. Then what are the basic information which are there in a GST transaction? Once I understand those GST transaction inputs which are there, those inputs have to be captured in one place or the other within Tally. For example, if I say GST is between, transaction is between me and a registered dealer, B2B, that means I should have the GST and number of the other party. That is the basic requirement for giving a input to the other party. So then it starts with GSTN number of the other party. So I have to have the GSTN number. I have to have this address fully available with me. Once I have that, thereafter, I should find out what is the product. If that product is there, if I am doing with inventory, then product, what is the HSN code for that product? What is the rate applicable? Whether it is on the reverse charge, whether it is on the forward charge, all that information have to be captured. Now, if I have all this information available, then I find out the value of the transaction, that is called the taxable value. Once I have a taxable value, thereafter, what I have is the input. If I am purchase, input. If I am sales, output. Input and output again has to be in three categories. One, it can be IGST or it can be CGST, SGST. If these are the categories which are available, then I have to link with all this. Then I may have something called invoice rounding off. That can also be part of it. There could be a scenario where I do an automation of the calculation, whereby there could be no errors on the part of anyone using the data. So this is the basic structure which we will try to implement in Tally. Till this time, if you have any doubt, now you can put the query. If you have doubt till this stage or any part of it to be repeated, please let me know. Based on that, I will repeat before we proceed, because this is the basic structure. Unless until the basic structure is correctly understood, the module will not work properly. Once you do it, thereafter it becomes very easy, and it becomes very easy to even file your GSTR 1, 3B, as the case may be, using Tally. Any doubt you have, please put in the Q&A. If there is no doubt, we will proceed further. I'm straight away getting into passing a voucher, because this data, what I put is a common data with nothing you want to be repeated in brief. Okay. Whatever I have done till now, I will try to repeat and finish it off. I'll quickly go through what I have done. I try to create a company, and while creating the company, your Tally is not working in your personal computer. So you have to talk to your person there. How can I solve the problem sitting here? Madam, you take care of this particular query.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I did is I created a company, and after creation of the company, I did something which is activation of that particular company. So I created the company, I gave the name of the company. In the mailing name, I gave something in the mailing name, I gave something in the company name. The company name I gave the year, because I have to understand that this company is for a particular period. Now, if I give that also in everywhere, all my reports will have the same details, which is wrong. So what is the mailing name? Mailing name is the name which is used for all my reports. All my reports, it will be taken care of. So in my invoice, in my GST return, in my TDS return, in my communication with the customers or the client, if I give a confirmation statement, that name will be picked up, the address will be picked up, the PAN number, the GST number, sorry, the email address, phone number, all will be picked up from the basic data when I created the company. After I created the company, immediately after that, it took me immediately to the features. And in the features, it was limited features which were there. So I said, expand all the features, and I saw all the features there available. And then I went to give the details relating to GST. It asked me certain information. This screen may be different based on whether you are using 3.1, 4 or 4.1. This may get changed accordingly. In 3.1, multiple GSTN will not be there. It comes in 4 and 4 and above. So multiple GSTN, it will be talking about. And if you have to press F12, to see that it is allowing you to create other things as well. If you are in a LUT, the information has to be given here. But then I gave the details, basic information, is whether I am a regular or a composition or regular in SEZ, so on and so forth. And that's how I proceeded. I gave the place of supply from where I am going to make the supply, because place of supply will be the deciding factor whether I am going to charge IGST or I am going to charge CGST, SGST. And that's what I did. I gave all the information relating to e-invoice, relating to e-way bill, and I proceeded further. This is a brief which I gave you. I want to give you, sorry. Wherever this kind of more details configure is available, please do look into it. Please do look into it. This registration number will take you to something called, some have that, the trade name. That is what is the registration name as far as GST is concerned. And this is for your multiple GSTN, which will come to the fag end. This is the multiple GSTN, where you can create multiple GSTN in the same data. Hope I am clear. Now I'll move to creation of entries. So we'll straight away get into creation of entries. Let me create an entry for purchases. I'm trying to create an entry for purchases. Again, two methods are there. One, I can give this purchase voucher number as manual, and I can put the supplier invoice number here itself. That is one method. And this is the other method, where by default the purchase voucher number comes in a sequence. I will give that for that in the purchase register. In the purchase register, unless until I put in the columnar, the supplier's invoice number will not be seen on the face of this screen. If I have to see on the face of the screen, I will rename the voucher Alt G, alter, master, voucher, purchase, and I will say make it manual. Allow duplicate, because preventing duplicate, the same invoice number may be given by two different parties. Now it allows me to change the number. For example, if it is number like this, 198 dated 5/4/05/04/24, and I can now just say 198/54. So automatically it will capture. I may not even give the date. I may say just 198, and then this also is a restricted field, because GSTN number, invoice number is restricted to 16 digits. I'll try to create a party now. I say EA traders, and this will come under sundry creditors. So he's a supplier who is going to give me supply me products. So I am maintaining bill wise. I don't have a default credit period. If I have a default credit period, I can give that as 60 days. And if I give 60 days, that means for all the vouchers, 60 days is fixed. But sometimes I may have a extended period or a shorter period. So whether to allow during entry to change the period, yes. Address, some address we give. And this state is again very, very relevant. Say, for example, if I am purchasing from, say, Karnataka. I am purchasing from Karnataka, then I have to pick Karnataka. If I am purchasing from Tamil Nadu, I have to pick Tamil Nadu, because if I pick Tamil Nadu and the state code, it will try to match it. Provide bank details. This is for the purpose of interaction with the bank details of the other party. If I have a PAN number of this particular person, it is a partnership firm. I'm giving some dummy PAN number, and this guy is a regular. If he is a regular guy, I have to give a GSTN number of this party. it always says it is invalid. If you see here, GST and detail. And if your dealer for whom you are going to prepare the accounts is a person who is eligible for e-invoicing, then can get it last for the e-invoice login, username, data, password, and it will give throw open whether this person is registered, whether he's a regular registered dealer or a composition regular dealer, whether his GSTN is active or inactive. It will throw open a dialog box which will compare between the data what you have given vis-a-vis what is there in the website. I'm not getting deep into the other parts of the scenario. I'm saying purchases. I may also say I don't want separately or I want separately. That means whether the purchases are intrastate, interstate, I want to have a separate list as a ledger itself. Then I will do like this. Otherwise, this will be ledger purchase account. That's all. Simple purchase account under purchases. This is how you will do it. Now it is asking me because once I put it purchases, it is understanding that it is relating to what is going to have an impact on GST. So is it a discount? Is it an invoice rounding off? None of this it is available. Whether include accessible value calculation, it is asking me for GST. If yes, what is the method? Value or what? But I will not go this way because I will say GST is applicable, but I will not give the information here. I will say this as per the group or as per the classification which are there, and I will go forward. Now I'll try to create an inventory item. For example, I create ball pens hyphen 0.5. Something like this I'm trying to create. And then I try to create a group called ball pens. I may have 0.5, I may have 0.75, so on and so forth. So this is the creation. Whether quantity can be added, yes. If the quantities are same, then it will add. Now I am specifying the HSN code. Some number I am giving, some description I am giving, and if I want to now compare the description HSN code I have given and the rate I have given here. If you see here, it says whether it is GST, exempted, non-GST, nil rated. I can also configure here and say, show me more configuration. And then I may say, give me the breakup. Reverse charge calculation, whether it is eligible for input or not, I can give. And once I give, it open up here and the rate I have to give in only one place, automatically it will calculate. And whether it is a reverse charge, whether it is eligible or not eligible, that is what is called block rate, it will tell you. Now it is asking me to give the information relating to units. I'll say numbers. Selection is more relevant. This you may give whichever way you want, but this selection is to QC, which is relevant as per GST law. So they have created, if you have something which is not there, then you have to link it to the nearest UQC, unit quantity code, which is as per the GSTN. This unit code will be picked up in your GSTR1 vis-a-vis GSTR, sorry, GSTR1 only, 3B it doesn't come, and your computation in 9C, all it will take care of. Decimal places, whether you want to give half, 1, sorry, 0, 1, 2, it's up to you. If I give more than 0 here, what will happen is I can sell half a pen. Half a pen can never be sold, but it will allow you to sell it. I will not give again because I have already given. It has picked up from the group. So either I can give individually item wise or I can give group wise. It will pick up. So all the items which are created under this group will automatically take these rates. Suppose I say it is 15,000 items and the rate is 1.35. And this is the item which I'm going to purchase, which is the item I'm purchasing. So now I am going to create the input ledgers which are there. So GST input CGST. I'll put it under Alt C, GST input accounts. I'm trying to tell how the grouping also have to happen in Tally. So I have created GST accounts as a GST particular ledger input, and finally I'm grouping it under duties and taxes. And once I do it, it tells me this will be shown to you only and only if under F11 we activated GST. If that is not done, this will not be shown. If this is not shown, then your GST activation has not happened. Nothing here will do the rounding off. Some people do there also. It is possible to do that way. What I did is I copied when I was doing the CGST account, I copied the ledger name. And if you see, this auto calculation is happening. The auto calculation will happen only and only if you have correctly linked the data, that is the stock unit item, purchase ledger, party ledger, and all these modules which I spoke in the initial stage. If you have linked everything correctly, this will work automatically. I pressed Alt A to see how these calculations have happened. What I will do is I will try to modify this voucher further, and I try to add one more item, Alt C, stationery, some item which is taxable, say at 5%. So I create a new item, stationery, and now I'm going to give the details here. I am going to give a details here, some detail, some name. Actually, you'll be giving the exact name, and you'll say taxable, say 5%. And reverse charge is not there. And I'm saying numbers. I'm not getting into the other unit of measure, alternate unit of measure, all that I'm not getting into. And I'm saying it is a 11 rupee 45 paisa item. You see, GST calculation automatically changed. So it allowed me to do a calculation, and I can also say, so it is going into the purchase accounts, and the GST is automatically calculated. And suppose the party has also done round off based on what his ledger is. I will go into the ledger create round off under indirect, and I'll say it is invoice rounding off. Normal rounding off, 2 decimal places, and it does the rounding off automatically. No, this rounding off is not correct. This should have been the rounding off. You can manually also do it. And now if I say Alt A, it gives me the breakup source wise, from where it has taken the rate, from where it has calculated, how the rate has been calculated, what is the rate applied, what is the value qua the item, every item. So any doubt till this? Any doubt till this? Because I have gone into a bit slow, because these are the basic information. Once these informations are correctly keyed in, then we can get into the other areas. I was in the voucher. Let me try to create one more voucher. I'll try to create one more voucher, which is the voucher number 208 or 206, some number. And it is dated, say, 10/4. It is not allowing me because the voucher date is, can be 10/4 or 11/4, but it will not allow me to go if it is before or after that voucher date. I will deal with this. Mr. Raghav, I'll deal with that separately. Now, what we will try to do is we'll try to pass an entry by a person who is now not in Chennai. This guy is, say, from Delhi. Some number in Delhi I'm giving. I don't know what is the GSTN starting number of Delhi, or 09 something or 08. I'm trying to create a party who is outside Tamil Nadu, and accordingly, this will work. Let us not get into the nitty-gritty saying what should be there. You will have the invoice number, you'll have the invoice copy. In the invoice copy, all the information will be available. You pick it up, and if you want to check, you have to log into the e-invoice login credentials. It is not the GST login credentials, it is the e-invoice login credentials, which are different than the GST login credentials. I'm creating that. I have created. So it's asking me whether you want to replace. I'm saying yes. And the place of supply is Tamil Nadu. It is coming and putting here. I am putting in the same purchase invoice. Now I am going to change everything. And if you see here, the GST calculation has vanished. Automatically it has gone back. Suppose I am going to say it is 25,000, 3 rupees, paisa, some figures I am giving. Now I am going to create a ledger called GST input IGST. And now it will be asking me the details. And here, this is what the link is. I have to select IGST. And then it will do the rounding off automatically, and then you proceed. Suppose I don't want this to be displayed, I'll say end of it. Because the value has gone up above 50,000, it is also telling me, please give me the EVA bill details and the e-invoice details if it is available. Give me all those details, I'll pick up and keep it inside. And this is the place where you want to change the period. It is not allowing me. So this is what is there. Now if I see, it gives me the calculation again, how it has been done, which group it has been done. The question which came out was the other party is not calculating the GST correctly. They are rounding it off at the nearest place. They are doing it rounding off at this place itself. This place itself, they are rounding it off. You can also round it off here itself, possible. If they are going to create like this, I can create 2 GST input, rounded off, normal, and I can have 2 GST, and accordingly I can pick up the ledgers. I can just say GST rounded off and another GST account which is not rounded off. Here I can say normal rounding, upward rounding, so on and so forth. Or I can change it manually. It will say 3988. Let me try to do this. 3988. So it is. This is how this can also happen. This is how we tackle it. When it comes to the return, this will be throwing it as an error. At that time, we have to see what is the nature of error, and we have to deal with that at that point of time. Hope I have cleared all the questions. Expense ledger, I will do it now. While creating the ledger, you don't require a GST login. You will always create a ledger based on the document which you have. Certain companies have something called KYC for even sales party. So they do a KYC for the sales party. They collect all the information, including the registration certificate under the GST, and that will help you in creating the ledger. And there could not be any error coming in. Shall we proceed? And now try to create a sales voucher. That will come, sir. We have already done the error. We have done the error and seen it. We have manually modified it. When we are going to see the GSTR return, at that time we'll tell you how it has to be done. Now let us come and try to pass an entry for an expense where I have a GST input. That is the query which has come, because we have very little time to get into the reports as well. Now let us get into expenses. What I do and what I recommend is create a new voucher type. Create a new voucher type master. Create a master voucher type, and I'll say purchase expenses. You may ask me why you want to do this. This is to easily capture the information, the GST computation automatically in Tally, and also generate a GSTN input register from my purchase register itself. We grouped under purchases. I'll say purchase register. This will be purchases. Method of numbering. Again, it can be manual. Duplicate not to be allowed. Sorry, duplicate to be allowed. And I can now come and say plus F9 and it'll ask me which expense. So I am saying now I am going to book expenditure. Let's give the voucher number, some voucher number, and that voucher number is dated 10th and it is issued by a Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel Limited, and this is a sundry creditors. I am not getting into grouping. Even grouping, we will do it differently. We will say sundry creditors for expenses, sundry creditors for goods, under sundry creditors. This office is in Tamil Nadu. He is having the bill which is generated from Tamil Nadu, and CB 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 33. So I'm just trying to create some dummy data, and it is saying this is what is there. Now I will say I am not going to go into an accounting invoice. I will change the mode to accounting invoice, not the item-wise invoice, and now pass the entry saying Alt C, telephone expenses. Now this telephone expenses is under indirect expenses. It is not a discount. GST is applicable. It is a service based on value. Sorry, not applicable. GST applicable. Specify here whatever is the HSN code that company is giving there. Telephone services, whatever name they are giving, or you can go to the website and find out what is the description of the service as per that, and then say taxable. If I say it is 18%, calculations will happen automatically. It is 1,000, 19,000, whatever is the expenditure, and I say SGST input, the calculation will happen automatically. Whether they are rounding off or not rounding off, accordingly, you can also do it. Or even otherwise, if I'm not going to make the payment, I will round it off, because I'm not going to make the payment, or I'm going to make the payment in round figures, I can round it off. This is how the expenditures are booked. So we are complete. Let us now do an output. this numbering for the output. If I have to number it, alter master, voucher, sales, then I say numbering is automatic, but numbering I want to give like this. Starting number is 1, width is 5, prefix 0. That means what? It will say the number as 00001. And then say from 1st April 24, it should be the company name was demo slash. And from 1st April, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give a prefix and suffix. Once I come out, my number gets changed automatically. Okay, I'll do that. Purchase expense, again, I'll do it. No issue. So let me do a sales, Alt C, party name, Z Traders, Sunday debtors. Very similar to what we did in purchases, but this time it is sales. That's the only difference. But it's very similar to that. So whether it is a local, whether it is outstation, whether it is a, all that will depend on what address we give. For example, this Z Traders is an individual. That's the reason why I am giving the PAN number as PA. So 33 AAA PA 1234A. I can also capture, I'm not getting into it because we have very little time. You can also capture what is the name as per PAN records. I'm creating a ledger called sales, under sales, and I'm saying it is not discounting, and I'm saying applicable as per the group company, take from there, not here. So I'm saying ball pens are sold, say 3,000 ball pens are sold. I don't know the value because they said it is 3 rupees and there will be a discount of 1.5%. So 3,000 and there will be a discount of 0.2%. So 3,000 into 0.2% means I will charge 0.98. It works in the reverse direction. It works in the reverse direction. I said Alt C and I gave a command saying 3,000 rupees. It will be, this is a pure mathematics. I can say bracket 3,000 into 3 rupees 10 paisa into 0.95. It is nothing but the rate is 3 rupees 20 paisa and there is a 5% discount. Automatically the calculations will take place. By default, it will go for the next item. And if you see a subtotal, that means it is going adding items. You have to come to the next level. Now I'll say GST output SGST under Alt C GST payable accounts, under GST accounts GST SGST control A auto calculation happens. The round off, if you want to do, we can do. If you want, we can do the invoicing. If it is a B2B, so the sales entries are captured. I don't want to generate invoice. The sales invoice has been captured. I'll repeat the expense related one, which this is the expense related one. What I did is I created a voucher type. I created my own voucher type called purchase expenses. On that purchase expenses, I said numbering is manual because I want the voucher number and the invoice number as to be same. And then I captured that information I created the expense voucher, sorry, expense party ledger, expense ledger, and the input, I linked it. This is how I captured it. Hope this is clear as far as expense is concerned. That's what I said about purchase expenses. I have repeated. I created a voucher type, new voucher type by going to Alt T, create master, voucher type, I created. I created the voucher type. I gave that very similar to what I did for purchase. I did the same thing for expenses. However, I did not go for item wise. I went for accounting invoice and I passed the entry. Hope this is clear. We will not have time for that much. If it is exempt, the stock item has to be linked to exempt. It will automatically capture as exempt. Now let us go to the reports. Display, statutory reports, GST report, GSTR1. If you remember, in one voucher, we did something and we also did something in the other voucher. GSTR1 says, it says the GST and number are invalid or not specified. So that is the problem. If you don't have the data with the real time, we are working with all the dummy data and dummy numbers. That is the reason why it is giving you the problem. Suppose I say, no, there is nothing wrong in that. I can say accept as is. Accept as is, it will accept. Here we have the dummy data, so it's all creating a problem. Now let us come to GSTR 3B. GSTR 3B, again, the same problem. It is asking me the GST and registration. It's not correct. Normally, it will accept as is, where is, it will accept the data. So this is about GSTR 3B. Once you have this, what you have to see to it that this uncertain transaction should be zero. And for example, if you have done something, someone has done save as is, then we can from the exceptional report whether the transaction was accepted as it is. It will say it is accepted as it is. This is a place where we adjust that 20 paisa what adjustment we did round off. It will be throwing up an error message here saying that it is not correct. There is an error. It will go and stop here and they'll say the value has been altered. And if that value has been altered, it will give you the details. What should be the value as per GST? What is the value as per the voucher? And then the difference is 20 paisa. Accept as it is. It will accept and proceed. Now you can export the return as a GST return. And as there are no transaction, because of the valid transaction are not there, it is not showing. It will accept and then it will be exporting you the data. Any doubt? Any area has to be looked down before we get into the multiple GSTN screen. The same procedure adopts for all the transaction. Even if you have a multiple GSTN, the place to give multiple GSTN is F11 under GST, and you create another GSTN for, it will ask you what is the other GSTN you want to do. For example, I do Karnataka, regular, GSTN number of Karnataka, whatever number, GST number you give here, based on that, it will work. And all this will be linked to GSTN number. So you have to create a separate voucher type for voucher series or voucher types for every GSTN registration you bring. And once you do that, when you come to display statutory report, whether it is GSTR 1 report or 3B report, you can see here, it is for all registration, and then I can select which registration I want. I can go company wise, registration wise. Hope I have done justice. I have done the entire module. Before, is there anything else to look at or any doubt? We'll try to clarify. You can even have the GST and return tracking also can be done in Tally. Possible. Any doubt you have, so that we can look into.
Maybe in Q&A if we
Madam?
cover. I was just saying, seeing the Q&A, so most of them.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Mostly it's on repeat or all of those things.
Please clear doubt about. I'm seeing the chat box right now. Clear about the second registration creation. Okay, how to shift one voucher to next month if it has appeared in 2A. Okay, 2A you don't get you get the input based on 2B. That is available when you do the reconciliation. With this data, I'll not be able to do it. There's something called 2B reconciliation, 2A reconciliation. When you pull the 2A or 2B from the website JSON file, pull it, import here. Once you import here, and when you import the data here, it will cross-match with the data which is already available and bifurcate between the comparison and portion, the portal value. At that time, it will tell you whether this is from captured in this month or subsequent month. If you put the date on month separately, it will automatically pick up and take it for reconciliation automatically. So the next question in the chat box is purchase expense, how to create, and how to create the second registration. If I am in F11, if I am in the GST enable portal, and as I have already created this multiple, it allows me to create one more. When I created for the first time, this was the screen, and here I said, allow me to create multiple, and that's how it has been created. Now, if I have in Maharashtra, I will just select Maharashtra. I will have to give the number of GSTN of that state and that registration number, and I can create. And for that, I have to create the voucher type separately. How to create a ledger for expenses. Alt G, create master ledger. Say I am creating a ledger called repairs and maintenance. I'm just creating some expenditure. I'm getting to the errors which are there. And here I will say GST is applicable, and here I will give the information relating to that nature of expenditure and the whether it is a service or whether it is a goods. Even repairs and maintenance, that can be goods purchased for repairs and maintenance, possible office maintenance, clearing. So that's how the ledgers are created. I will specify here the HSN code something, and then description. I purchase certain material. Whatever the description, I'll give here, and then I'll give the rates also here. Someone was asking about exempted. Here, you create that exempted. It is applicable here also. It is this particular tax liability type. If I'm going to create a stock item, there also I can give. So this is how the ledgers are created. The next question is, okay, this is a nice question which is coming. Please repeat suffix, prefix in a sales voucher number. I may have a certain concept of having my own style of voucher numbering. What I did is I went to Alta Master, voucher types, sales, and then I said, make the number changes. Suppose I said this is 6 digit. Then I said prefix with 0. That means what? the number will be 000001, and it's how it will start. And then I gave prefix, my company name. Many places you see this company name slash followed by number slash followed by the financial year. That is what I did. This suffix prefix. It is giving me a message because we have said that retain the original numbers. That's the reason why it is giving me the message. Okay, print out. So this is the invoice, and I print this invoice, and I see the preview. This is how the invoice will come, along with the breakup, because this is the requirement of law. Along with the breakup, HSN code-wise breakup, it will give you. This is about printing. Next question is create sales exempt item. I already shown you sales item. If your item is exempt, automatically it will take no GST calculation. In sales voucher, as freight is also charged from party, how it will be shown in sales voucher. Now this is a composite supply. A composite supply. So what will be the rate for the freight charges? Because my intention is not freight, my intention is selling the goods. So whatever is the rate for the selling the goods, that rate should apply. That is one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it, no, freight I will charge 18%, product may be 8%. This can also be there. That also can be done in a sales voucher. In a sales voucher, you can just add, before I add all this, the GST, I will add freight, Alt C, freight charges. It's a direct, indirect income. GST is applicable. Specify here. Normally GTA will not apply, but then for the academic purpose, we are just trying to give here, say taxable, and it is 18%. So let it be at 3%. I'm just giving something awkward. And say it is 1,000 rupees. You see, my GST input, output has changed automatically. So this is how freights are also included. I have considered both. I can say same rate or different rate. RCM. I create the voucher. Let us create a voucher for, say, legal fees. So let us put a purchase entry, expense, some number, some invoice number he has given, 9809, and I'll say legal firm, indirect expenses not applicable, GST is applicable. Specify here. I have to give that code, legal fees. Specify here, taxable, reverse charge, yes. Whether it is eligible, not eligible, it will be based on what is the nature. So legal firm, change mode, go accounting invoice. So where did we create that ledger? Alt G, Delta master, ledger, legal firm. We should have created under. Legal firm is not created, it is legal fees. So Alt C, legal firm, Sunday creditors. Well, nothing else is regular. This will say it is not regular, unknown. This is most important. And once I say legal fees, 10,000, and even if I put a GST input, nothing will come. Even I put output, nothing will come. Controlling. Now if I go to display, statutory report, GST report, 3B, it is creating problem because of the GST and number. Otherwise, it will go and fall automatically in your outward register, including reverse charge. It will come and fall automatically here. This is about reverse charge. Reverse charge I have shown. Invoice issued to SEZ without GST. That is a very, very tricky situation to do. It's all based on how you create the ledger. EF8, Alt C, AA, sundry debtors, this I have to look into it because SEZ normally we don't do. But then there's a creation which has to be done where you have to say that party is an SEZ party. Automatically, with or without GST, it will take care and it will calculate automatically. How to reconcile GSTR1 to in Tally? That GSTR1, whatever you have uploaded in the system, download the JSON file, and that JSON file you have to pull inside. RCM input voucher, sir. What is this? I don't understand from your question. No RCM GST book in legal fee. How it shows? Please answer. It will calculate the RCM automatically. And when I am in the GST portal, GST report, there it will show me what is the payable amount of RCM. And then, for example, let me try this because we have shortage of time now. Display statutory book, GST report, 3B at adjustment. This is how we pass the entry for the reverse charge from registered dealer. Similarly, this way for unregistered. They are not registered. So the stat adjustment, there are a lot of adjustment in this. Once you go to every list, there will be something which is coming out. You have to go and see every list which is there, and it will show you what is that adjustment you can bring about and pass the entry. Rule 86B will not be part of Tally itself because there is that 10%, that 1% GST output which you have to pay in case your turnover is less than 50 lakhs or your income tax payable is less than 1 lakh. In that scenario, that provision comes into picture, but that cannot be done here. That is only the entry which I just now showed you, stat adjustment. There you have to pass the entry and see to it that liability is done. Tally will not help you in finding out whether that is available or not as of now. In the near future, there are many more developments which are coming. Tally 5, release 5 is going to come. It will have more features available. Hope I have done all the queries which are there. Over to you, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I saw two raised hands. by Ms.
I had the
Poonam
intention of
Bhari.
showing. I had the intention of showing even the GST working, all that, but then I could not convert my data into a dummy data, live data into a dummy data and show it. So that's the reason why I'm not able to do it. It's taking a lot of time even to.
But you've explained the process, so I think that should
Yeah,
be.
I have shown all the process.
CA Tukaram Borkar, do you have a question, sir? I saw you raise your hand. Okay. So I guess maybe the queries got resolved. So thank you, Uttam sir. You literally spoke non-stop and cleared all the doubts. So thank you so much for a very enlightening session. For the people asking for the recording of the session, I'll make sure it gets uploaded in a day or two in our YouTube channel. At the same time, if you're in our WhatsApp group of CA community WhatsApp group, we will be putting the links over there and also in our CA community portal. So
whatever I have done, it's only a quick rush through. Whatever we have done right now, there are some queries which are relating to TDS, which is not the subject, so we have not answered it.
Yes, sir. One raised hand. So should we take one question?
Yeah, no problem.
I have a question.
Yeah, yes.
Is this all rules apply with Tally version 2 also?
The rules are available in Tally. You have to activate those and connect it. That's the only thing. You have to connect it so that the working happens smoothly.
Because the way which the Tally is upgrading nowadays, it's very difficult to catch up with one update to another update. Clients are very comfortable, they're learning.
No, that is the level at which we are, sir. The world is changing very fast, and based on that, you have to change it. So you have to be prepared for it, sir. Because everyone is asking for more and more updates, and that's how the Tally is throwing more and more updates very quickly.
I understand. But the problem is it will be difficult for us to update even before they know. That's the problem.
Right, but then majority of the informations are available earlier. What all the bugs which are there, what all these available are there, it has to be done automatically there.
Thank you. Nice presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks to Tally also.
Thank you, sir, for attending. Yeah, Mr. Bhuvnesh Patel, you have a query? Sir, you can unmute yourself.
Madam, I want to know, madam, can we add QR code in the Tally voucher?
You are talking about QR code relating to payment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right.
It is possible. It is possible.
Okay, sir. How can we use it?
And there is a program which was done for that also.
Okay, it should be.
Where you can even send the QR code and the link to the other party for making the payment.
Okay, just I want to know, sir, how can I add a QR code? What is the options available?
That you have to go to the website community.tallysolutions.com.
Yeah, help.tallysolutions.com. It has a wide variety. Let me look through the link and we'll show you.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
CA Tukaram Shripada Borkar, sir. So again, I saw you were trying to unmute. You have a query? Okay, so
there is a comment from someone, Vicky Shah, could not learn anything from this webinar. Hope next time you will show 2B reconciliation unless until the data punched in. Just a ma'am. Unless until the data punched in it's correctly done, you cannot do reconciliation of 2B in Tally. So first you have to learn how to capture the data correctly. Once you have captured the data, then only you can understand how the 2B reconciliation works.
Yeah, and also, sir, for the 2B reconciliation, we have done previously a webinar specifically on that topic because it is a very big webinar and a specific topic. Please go through our CA community portal where all the videos of CA Connect are uploaded. You can definitely go through and I'm sure that video will be very helpful for you. CA Lalit Kumar Jain, yes, we'll be providing today's session. I'm sure you must be in our WhatsApp group on the CA community by Tally. And we will also be uploading in our YouTube channel, which has a series of Tally CA Connect where you can see all the CA Connect videos. Yeah.
One hand is raised, madam.
Yeah, CA Tukaram, sir. Sir, please ask your query. You are unmuted.
Their unresolved entries in GSTR 3B need not go.
Come again, sir.
Their unresolved entries in GSTR 3B, can it remain as it is? Just press accept as it is and you can go ahead, or you have to
Yes,
resolve all
it is.
those?
No, if you don't resolve it, then the matter may go without rectifying the errors. So there are some errors which are all negligible errors. Like for example, when you make purchases, the other party has rounded off, or they have not rounded off, you have rounded off. All those small errors is acceptable. But if there are some blunders which are there and you still accept and go it, then your returns will be wrong.
So better to resolve them.
Yes, always.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I guess we have answered all the queries. So we can conclude our session.
Just a minute, ma'am. One more question is that how to see percentage-wise purchase and sales? That is available in your GSTR 3B R1. And if you press Shift Enter, it will expand and expand and expand. It will give you percentage-wise all the details.
Okay, perfect. So that was our last query. And of course, compliment for you, sir. Excellent presentation. So definitely we'll make sure that the recording is available at the earliest. So thank you so much, Uttam sir. And for our next week's sessions, we are going to take up something on GST itself. I think the session is called Navigating GST Challenges with the help of TallyPrime. Please stay tuned for the registration details. Thank you, Uttam sir. I will now.
Thank you, everyone.